It has been amazing being able to talk about detox. We've been able to talk about the root causes of toxicity. We've been able to talk about how we possibly ourselves may be toxic. And then on last episode, we talked about one strategy on how to detox. And so on today, in this video, we're going to give you another strategy on how to be able to detox from relationships when it comes to families, when it comes to loved ones, and when it comes possibly with your significant other. So if you're ready, like how I am, we're going to be able to have a great time talking about detox. Let's get into it. I'm DC Howard. If you want to know more about me as well as this company, feel free to click on the link above to get more information. Also, if you are new to this channel and if you're new to this series, know that we've had 3 parts of this particular series before. So I'm going to allow you to be able to have the opportunity to look at each part. So here is part 1 right here. Here also is part 2, which is right there. And here is part 3, which is our last and latest episode, which is right there, Usain Bolt. All right. Well, here we are going to talk about our second, and if you will, our final major strategy when it comes to being able to detox in relationships. So being able to detox in relationships with family members, with loved ones like friends and other individuals that you're really close to, as well as also possibly being able to detox in your relationship when it comes to your significant other. And so as we've done all throughout before, we want to make sure that you're able to understand what is the definition of toxic. So the definition of toxic, simply put, is poisonous material that is capable of causing death and serious debilitation. Once again, the definition for toxic is poisonous material that is capable of causing death and or serious debilitation. And so we want to make sure that you're not causing death in your relationships. We want to make sure that you're not causing serious debilitation in your relationships. Just like how we don't want you to experience death in a relationship. Just like how we don't want you to experience serious debilitation in a relationship. And so on last week, we talked about one strategy, which is being able to flush out. And so this week, we're going to be talking about the other strategy, which is how do you go about refeeding yourself? How do you go about feeding yourself? And so as I often do, I'll give a scientific, if you will, analogy of how this is going to work from the practical standpoint. And so in science, we learned that there are, if you will, usually 3 types of eaters in, if you will, the animal kingdom. And so you have your herbivores, which are usually individuals that eat plants or eat plant matter. So like your rabbits, your cows, other individuals of that sort. Then you have your carnivores, who are animals and or species that usually eat meat, eat flesh. And so those are usually like your birds of prey, so like your eagles and your falcons and all of those type of animals. A lot of your reptiles, so like your alligators, crocodiles, snakes, things of that sort, and even like your foxes. And if you go even more, if you will, on the safari, so you're talking about your lions, your cheetahs, your hyenas, all of those of that sort. And then you have a third type of individual that are called omnivores. And the root of that is omni, which is all vor when it comes to eating. And so it's being able to eat both plant and animal matter in order to survive. And we as the human species, because we're all one race, that's the human race, we as the human race, the human species, we are considered omnivores. And one of the things that I'll just say when it comes to being able to detox is simply put, and I've been saying this in various settings for over so many years, is that you are what you consume. Once again, you are what you consume. I'm going to say it one more time. You are what you consume. And so old school, the statement was, you are what you eat. But in this modern day and age, especially for this concept of detox, you are what you consume. And so now that you've had the opportunity to flush out those particular things that have caused you to be toxic or possibly have been toxic factors, now how do you go about, if you will, refueling, refeeding, refilling yourself with the right things? Well, we're going to talk about 3 areas of how you need to make sure that you're able to ensure that you're feeding yourself properly, that you're consuming properly. And that is making sure that your visual content, making sure that your vocal content, and making sure your virtual content is on point. Once again, I'll say those three again, is making sure your visual content is on point, making sure your vocal content is on point, and making sure your virtual content is on point. So let's be able to talk about each one of those matters. So visual content. So when it comes down to being able to detox from your particular relationship, whether that be with family, whether that be with loved ones, whether that be with a significant other, is be very mindful of what you're putting in front of your eyes when it comes to being able to have a healthy, non-toxic relationship. Simple example is that let's say that you are friends with someone and you've been friends with them for over a decade. Let's say you start off maybe in high school and now you guys both are finished with post-secondary work and you're still friends, you may have families, things of that sort. Well, if you were the individual that you constantly always called them whenever you had problems and never truly allowed them to be able to call you when they had problems or issues, that potentially is a toxic thing. And so being able to have a conversation about that and being able to adjust it is going to be good, but also you need to make sure that you're putting in front of your eyes other individuals, whether it be friends that you have or other individuals that are in friendships where there is that healthy, non-toxic relationship, which we call our reciprocal relationships. Equal amount of give as well as equal amount of take. So make sure that you're constantly looking at things that are, if you will, promoting positive, healthy, non-toxic habits and behaviors when it comes to your relationships. That's the first component that you want to be able to make sure you're doing. The second component is vocal content. So what are you listening to? Who are you listening to? It is very, 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 very crucial that you understand that the things that you're listening to, whether it be via your actual music selections that you listen to, as well as also what you're listening to when it comes to whatever content you're watching. So whatever you're watching on your actual television, on your tablet, on your computer, on whatever device that you have, whatever you're listening to does have a great effect on how you go about having toxicity in relationships with family members, with loved ones, and with a significant other. And so if you're finding yourself that you're listening to content that is, if you will, glorifying toxic behavior. So for instance, toxic behavior of not being able to be accountable with your significant other, even though you are in a committed relationship, but you're listening to individuals that are talking about they don't care about being committed and accountable to their significant other, that's going to have an effect on you and therefore causing potential toxicity in that relationship. And so be mindful that the things that you're listening to, even songs that you possibly are listening to, even here at this moment, are things that could potentially reinforce either non-toxic or toxic behavior. And so that's a key point that you want to be able to be mindful of as well. And here's the third point that I referenced, virtual content. In this modern day and age, it's almost to the point where, especially for us as millennials, is the fact that we are overloaded. Yes, overloaded, not only millennials, but especially even for our Gen Z, that we're overloaded with so much virtual content, whether that's social media, whether that is ads, whether that's being on YouTube, whether that's whatever the case may be. We are bombarded with virtual content. You want to be mindful that the virtual content that you're just haphazardly scrolling through, because here's a quick secret, is those particular big market companies are very mindful and they've studied years of psychoanalysis as well as habits to be able to catch you, if you will, in a certain train of thought, in a certain mindset, so that they're able to market to you, as well as also they're able to feed you, just as how I'm talking about today, certain potential thoughts and parameters. And so you want to make sure rather that your virtual content is true to what your ideals or your values are. And so if you find yourself that there's certain virtual content that you're having to consume that is not ideal to your values and your standards, you want to be able to figure out, okay, what are settings that I can make? And I know this seems extreme, but once again, our goal is being able to have healthy, non-toxic relationships, is being able to say, okay, what are the ways in which I can now control and reframe the virtual content that I have coming to my phone, coming to my tablet, coming through my computer, coming through my social media, so that it is actually reinforcing positive, healthy, non-toxic components. And so that's what you want to be able to do when it comes to your virtual content. So once again, to kind of wrap all of this up, is the fact of the matter that we are what we consume. And so if you want to be able to have healthy, non-toxic, which that's equal give, equal take, positive relationships when it comes to your family members, when it comes to friends and other loved ones, and when it comes to your significant other in committed relationships that you have. In this particular episode, we've talked about how do you go about feeding yourself properly and being mindful of their visual content. What are you literally looking at? What are you literally seeing on a consistent basis? Your vocal content, what are you actually listening to or taking in through your ears? And then your virtual content. What are you allowing yourself to see when you're on your screens, if you will? And so I hope this has been of great help to you. I know that it is something that I've been truly, truly passionate about sharing with you. And if you stay tuned really, really quickly, we've got a lot of great information on how you can be even more helped when it comes to being able to detox in your relationships with family, with loved ones, and with that significant other. Hey everybody, this is DC Howard, founder and principal coach of Wayineers, the care coach that's career and relationship excellence for the millennial, especially our Black millennials. Listen, we are excited to be able to premiere some brand new things just for you, in the fact that we're going to now have on our website, www.wayineers.com, a new resources section where you're going to be able to download free as well as also some paid resources that'll be just for you when it comes to being able to, if you will, further enhance our Tactic Thursdays. We're also going to premiere a members area where just for a very, very cheap fee that you can be able to connect with me, be able to get exclusive, that's right, exclusive content that won't be anywhere else, as well as also practical resources to be able to make sure that you're excellent in your career and your relationships. Once again, if you want to be able to access that, go to our website, www.wayineers.com. Thank you so very much for watching this video. And here are a quick 6 things that I would like for you to do after now watching this video. Number 1, if you really enjoyed the content that you saw today, be able to click a thumbs up to be able to like and support this particular video as well as our channel. Number 2, in the comment section, type some comments about what you liked about this video, as well as also if there are particular things that you would like for us to talk more about or be able to share more about in future videos that we have. Number 3, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Go ahead and subscribe to us so you can be a part of our total Wayineers network that we're able to have all across the world. Number 4, click on that get notifications bell so you, yes, you are the very first individual to be able to know about the fresh new content that we deliver each and every single week. Number 5, follow us on social media. We're on social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course YouTube, all with the handle @Wayineers. And then number 6, look in our description. Once again, look in our description and you can book a session with us. You can have a session with us here at Wayineers and myself, DC Howard, founder and principal coach, master certified life coach, and the care coach that stands for career and relationship excellence coach for the millennial and specifically our Black millennials, where you can be able to get a absolutely free 30-minute exploratory session, as well as also we have session plans that are available for you, and we want to be able to connect with you. So look in our description. Go ahead and go to our website, which is wayineers.com. It's in the description, so click on that as well. Thank you all so very much. Time is the most valuable non-renewable resource, and so we truly, truly appreciate that you spent that time with us here today. And once again, we here at Wayineers want to make sure you reach your destination of success by letting us help you calculate your route. Have a great day, have a great weekend, and we look forward to seeing and speaking with you soon.